headed for a tear.
Hurry! Where are your gods now, Guardian?
I wasn't chosen for my fate. No!
Life Rift!
Ancestor souls, your strength is mine!
The gods know the score, Defiant. Now, so do you.
Hello, BT here from Team Allius, and today we're going to start a brand new adventure in the magical world of Telara. Ooh. Anyway, otherwise known as Rift. So I actually played this game back in beta, I think it's about 3 years old now or something, but back then you had to buy it, and it was amazing, and I absolutely loved it. But, you know, stuff happened, and I ended up taking a break from it. And since then it's gone free to play, so, you know, if you're looking for a new MMO to get into, this might actually be your thing. But also, they've got a brand new expansion as well. So I decided, if I'm coming back, you know, why not show the new experiences with you guys. So let's go on an adventure together, because why the hell not? So, for those of you who don't know anything about Rift, it is, from the outside, a generic, typical fantasy-themed MMO, where you've got two factions at war with each other, trying to murder each other in the face, basically. So, in this case, we've got the religious guardians, who are all about, like, they're chosen of the gods, brought back from death to save the world. And then you've got the Defiants, who are more technological in that respect. So, they've been taking fate into their own hands, as it say, turning away from the vigil, so they're like, screw you gods, we're going to go all technological on your ass. So, I'm going to play Guardians because, well, most of my other characters are Guardians anyway. But, depending on how this goes, I might make a Defiant at some point, but for this Let's Play, we're going to go with the Guardians. Because, Metal Fist of Doom! Look how badass that is. Anyway. So, each faction has 3 races. In fact, yeah, let's go back to the Defiant races just to show you. So, for the Defiants, we've got the Eth, which are basically like humans. Then you've got the Kalari, who are sort of purpley elf people. See? Oh my god, check out that guy's Elvis hair, that is fabulous, look at that guy. And then you've got the Barmy, who are these big, sort of purpley, I don't know, kind of exotic people. They look quite cool. And then if we go back to the Guardians, we've got the Mathosians, who are people, humans. There's not a huge amount of variation between the races. You've just got people, elves, and then fancy people. So like again, we've got high elves, typical anime, girly, whatever, and a hippie Legolas or something. I don't know what's going on with that guy. And then we've got dwarves, although this guy looks like super deformed. I don't like the proportions on him. Look at his arms. It's very weird. And then she doesn't really look like a dwarf, in my opinion, but I don't know. I suppose it's really hard to make ladies look like dwarves. But anyway, let's see. Let's go with... Oh yeah, every race has their own sort of abilities. They all pretty much have resistance of a different element. So like the Mathodians have death resistance by 20. And then you've got the elves have just got like life, and they've all pretty much just got resistance to an element by 20. And then they all have this sort of fluff skill. So again, the Mathosians have this movement speed buff for 10 seconds by 30%, and then you've got the high elves that have just got this random chargey thing. None of their racials are really game breaking. As I say, they're just fluff. They're just silly little things. And then you've got these little gear previews as well. Ooh, that's kind of cool. But I'm going to play a Mathosian. And then we go to next. And then we've got 4 classes. Now, every race can be any of these 4 classes. But what sets the class mechanics different from any other MMO is that if you pick a class, you don't necessarily have to stick with a set build. So there's 8 souls. I'll get into it in more depth later, but there's 8 souls, and they all have different sort of roles, different skill sets, you know, different things, and you combine 3 of them to suit your needs and your playstyle. So as you can see, they've got like healer, tank, damage, support, and under each like class, which means that if you wanted to, for example, play a warrior but you didn't want a tank, you can be a damage or a support if you wanted to. If you say got to level 20 and decided that no, actually I want a tank, you can actually purchase a new role and then choose the tanking souls and be a tank. So without having to start over again and make a new character. So you don't, you can pretty much just make one of every class and then just chop and change as you please. So for this playthrough, I'm going to play a rogue because I haven't really played a rogue before. But there we go. If we go into rogue, as you can see, it's got these different presets on the side. And again, it's basically down to playstyle. But what this thing in the side here means is whichever one you choose, when you actually get into game, it will give you a set sort of build. It's just a bog standard preset build, which you can change. You can pick whatever the hell you like. It's completely up to you. But if you're a new person getting into this game, it's really advised that you stick with the preset builds until you get a feel for the game. 10-20 levels in, then you can start messing with things. But this is basically just to start you off. So we've got the huntsman, and they're typical ranger with a pet. As you can see, this mean looking pig thing here. And then you've got a shadow stalker, which is more sneaky, stabby kind of, if you're into that kind of thing. Planner sentry, which is your tank, because rogues can tank in this game, and they're not bad at it actually, if I remember. You've got a bard. Not that she looks remotely bard-like at all in this. Where's your loot, woman? What's wrong with you? Yeah, bards in this game have musical instruments, and they're really funny. Like, I used to remember when we did raids back at release, sorry, and we had a bard in the group, and he got out this lute and this little clarinet thing, and it was just like, it was really funny. But we're not going to play a bard. Then we've got, look, all of these skills, when you click on them, all their animations are just like the same thing. Look, slashy, slashy purple. Except for that one. Slashy purple, slashy purple. But anyway. But yeah, so we're going to go with the Flame Trooper. Now, again, if you're brand new, you probably won't have access to the Storm Legion souls. Storm Legion was the new expansion that came out, and it basically added a new soul to each class. And for this Flame Trooper that I'm just going to pick, but I'm not going to stick with it, it's a Tactician, which is basically like this sort of ranged, turrety sort of... It's a ranged class, but they use like turrets and flamethrowers and stuff, and it is pretty cool. Really is pretty cool. But if you want to have those builds, you have to buy the souls, and you can do that either by getting the expansion or using in-game credits to buy it. But again, I'll get into that later. But anyway, as you can see, here is the character creation screen, and it's not bad. Like, they could have added a lot more things to it to sort of make it a bit more in depth. But I mean, other than that, you know, it's pretty good actually. Anyway, there we go. I think that will do. What do you guys think? I think she looks fine. There we go. Right, we're gonna name her Syarma, because that's what I normally name my characters in games. And there we go.
The king of Mythosia would have sacrificed the world to Regulos the Destroyer. The faithful rebelled against his heresy. We overthrew the tyrant and put his armies to the sword. Defeated in battle, he turned to the machines of the Defiance. Their devices drew upon the power of the dragon, a power they could not control. This is the day the rifts came. This is the day we died. But the gods of the Vigil intervened. Their messengers went among the fallen and ascended the worthy, not for their virtue, but for their might. In you, they placed their faith, their hope, and their power. You are our salvation. You are a guardian.